What's up, fellow collectors? Welcome back to the M.I.B. Master Toy Museum. I'll be your curator today. Guys, we are continuing with our Masters of the Universe Super 7 fantastic Filmation cartoon characters. These were the figures that were made in the exact likeness of the Filmation cartoon for the Masters of the Universe. Exactly how they appeared on the screen every Saturday morning. Guys, we are having a lot of fun with this new toy line, the Super 7 toy line that's releasing the Masters of the Universe figures. I really liked these figures a lot back in the early 1980s. I never had them, and by the end of the 80s, because this the Masters Universe, I believe, toy line ran from 1982 to 1988. So they had a ton of fantastic figures, but by the end of the toy line, I was around probably 18 years old at that time. But looking back on it now, it's really cool that as a museum curator, a toy collector, and the owner of a museum, I can add these beautiful pieces to my collection. We said we were going to be getting Masters of the Universe action figures. Our subscribers have been asking us if we were going to get Masters of the Universe action figures, and we aim to please, guys, and that was the plan all along. Today, for your viewing pleasure, we have Hordak, ruthless leader of the evil horde. And Hordak aesthetically is one of the most beautiful figures, Masters of the Universe figures to look at. Head sculpt, everything about this Hordak figure is awesome. Look at the bat emblem on his chest. I'll get some focus there for you. Now, the vintage Hordak figure was not this bright of color. He was a different, more of a grayish type color. As you can see, this Hordak is truly the Filmation cartoon version of how Hordak appeared on the cartoon. The red eyes, the white face. Here you got the blue fan up here. And so many details to this head sculpt on Hordak. Fantastic details, right down to the armbands. He's got some weapons here. We'll get into that. His feet. This blaster that goes on his arm. He's got something over here. We'll take a closer look at that. We'll turn this around. More of a, he has, I believe, a card or a manual here in the back. All of the Super 7 figures come with that. Guys, if you're just joining us, welcome to the M.I.B. Master Toy Museum. We're just hanging out today in our museum here on a Thursday, relaxing. And we are bringing another Masters of the Universe action figure for you. And today it's Hordak, the ruthless leader of the evil horde. Guys, do you remember this figure? Did you have this figure growing up? That's the key. We got this from our local toy and game exchange. Fantastic action cartoon type art right here. You see that blaster on Hordak's arm. think they all come with that power punch. Twist his waist, and he swings back with a punch. Here's our heroic heroes. I saw She-Ra there. I might pick She-Ra up at some point. Wasn't a big She-Ra fan, but most likely I'll probably add her to the museum collection at some point. There's our Hordak. There's Skeletor. There's Hero. There's Eldor. We'll be adding these guys as well. Here's the slide the blaster cannon over his arm to destroy enemies. Let's get you a year here. Mattel 2018. Super 7 Retail Incorporation. Super 7 is doing a great job with these vintage-like figures. These are 5.5 inches tall, just like the vintage Masters of the Universe figures. I don't know what this is. I don't quite know what that is right there. I would like to know. It's probably a stand of some sort. Anybody knows what that is that has this figure, let me know. We are M.I.B collectors here, so I sell them very rarely. I've never taken anything off the card or out of the box. We want these figures to appear to you the way they were on toy store shelves decades ago when they first hit toy stores. And that's our mission here at the M.I.B Master Toy Museum. I saw Hordak when I was picking up He-Man and Skeletor, and it was one of those things where you just hit your head and say, you know what, man, maybe I should just went back and got that guy. So we decided to go back and add Hordak to our Masters of the Universe collection. There's so much happening here in terms of detail to his body armor. And a cool thing about these figures, I think Mattel did a fantastic job. They used the same body sculpt, which made it very easy and probably cheap too to, you know, you could create all these different characters because you don't have to switch out the bodies too much. So they all appeared, you know, built like He-Man, the muscular bodies. But Hordak is definitely one of my favorites because of just so much of the detail that went into this figure, into designing him. He has just so much happening with him, sculpt-wise. And I did some research on the legs are not the old vintage Masters of the Universe figures. They use like a rubber band type system. That's not the case. More of a ball joint type situation, as you can see. He can get you in close, where you know he can rotate that leg, which is I think was fantastic on Super 7's part in designing him. This is, you can see the exchange price there. That's what I paid, but underneath that, it's an adult collectible. So these are truly intended for collectors, which is perfect, you know, because they display well. The card is in fantastic condition. I can't say enough. Whoever had this in their collection did a fantastic job in protecting it. These cards are absolutely gorgeous. You see it's unpunched here. Guys, we'd like to thank you for hanging out with us today, checking out our Masters of the Universe Super 7 series figures, Hordak. Let us know what you think, guys. What other Masters of the Universe characters or villains would you like to see in the future here at the museum? You know the routine, guys. God bless. And keep collecting.